Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Rundown with the Cowboy Crab. I'm your host, the Cowboy Crab, and tonight has been an interesting start tonight for the OFL, as we are just coming off with the Firecats getting a major win over the Roblox Warriors here to kick off Week 8. Week 8 is the most important week of the OFL season, in my opinion, and just in general. Most teams still trying to get playoff positions, bunch of playoff scenarios. That's what we're going to go over tonight. Current situation playoff scenarios. Let's go over the one that's most recent on everybody's mind. The Warriors have been officially, well, not official. I think it's officially at this point, but you never really know. But they are currently out. Well, they currently cannot clinch the 1 seed in the Western Conference. They currently sit at 6-2. The Nighthawks are coming up behind them with 5-2, along with Tremont, who's 5-2, Dansville, who's currently the front runner for clinching the 1 seed. They get a win tonight. They are in that 1 seed. And then you also have the Twisters, who sit at 5-2. So current scenarios wise, So let's just go over all the teams that have currently clinched playoff position. Tremont has clinched. The Knights have clinched. The Warriors have clinched. Twisters clinched. Ducks, Nighthawks, Thunderbirds, Bears, Phoenix. All teams have clinched so far. So those teams are already in the playoffs. So right now in the Western Conference, your current 6-9 seeds sit at the Sunbirds, who originally clinched, but because of end up forfeit, are no longer clinched. The Sky Kings sit at 4-3 in the 7th seed. The Rams 3-4 at the 8th seed. If this was last season, they'd be the only team in. But actually, no, 2 seasons ago they'd be in. Not last season. Forget what I just said. Anyways, but the play-in game looks like the Rams and Vikings. Both teams sit at 3-4. Winner of that would let's go over the rest of the teams that still have a shot. So statistically speaking, teams that still have a shot of making the playoffs so far: the Rattlers, Invaders, Aztecs, Raiders, and Spartans. Spartans and Raiders, in my opinion, are your most likely, as they also sit at 3-4 records and would need either the Rams or Vikings to lose in their upcoming matchup and then win their matchup and then have to go play the play-in game and win that matchup. Now, for the chaos scenario, you have a team like the Rattlers, Invaders, or the Aztecs. They need all the teams above them to lose, and they have to win. I believe that is the only way they can physically clinch. Well, they can't clinch, but get into a play-in game, which could potentially clinch their spot. But realistically, the only spots of clinching now at this point in the Western Conference are the 6th and 7th seed, which would involve the Sunbirds or Sky Kings losing and either the Rams or Vikings winning. But, just a whole bunch of crazy scenarios for tonight's matchup. As we're going to shift over to the Eastern Conference now. So that's kind of your current scenarios. The Warriors have clinched, Nighthawks are in, Turks are in, Ducks are in, Twisters are in. The big controversy up there is the number 1 seed, who's currently knocking at Dansville's door. So yeah, that's what it's looking like in the Western Conference right now. In the Eastern Conference, oh boy, those top teams are dangerous. You still have the 2 undefeated teams left in the league, the Phoenix and the Bears. Arguably, if one of them loses, the other gets the first seed, unless both of them lose. Which, if that were the case, I think it'd still go to Atlanta, who currently sits at the 1 seed. But yeah, they've clinched. DC has also clinched. They sit 6-1, so unlikely that they get the first seed, especially since I think they lost to Atlanta. Let me just quickly check my facts real quick. I'm pretty sure it was Atlanta they lost to. It could have been Toronto. But we did. Oh no, it was Atlanta. Okay, so I did get it right. Oh yeah, so they lost to Atlanta. So Yeah, DC best scenario for them is the second seed, in my opinion. Firecats, the big win they got tonight puts them at 5-3. However, the Thunderbirds, Panthers, the Raptors, they're all on their tails. They sit all those teams sit at 5-2. Firecats sit at 5-3. Not to mention you have the 5-2 Bolts, the 5-2 Greats, and the big team that's in the eyes of those Firecats, the Highland Huskies. It has been stated, if the Huskies win, the Firecats are out. And also with that win, that also did eliminate the Corblocks, Snowhawks. So really, your final teams for the Eastern Conference are the Huskies, Greats, Bolts, Raptors, Panthers, Thunderbirds, and Firecats. So all possible playoff positions up to the 4th seed are still possible to clinch. So, yeah, this is going to be going down to the wire in the Eastern Conference. It's an all-out shootout. There's also teams that have been eliminated, like the draft. You got though lots of eliminated teams. A little bit of a shocker to me was the Freedom, as they were looking pretty hot in the first few weeks, and then they just kind of fell apart. Motor City also looked pretty good for a little bit. They fell apart. Dresden just fell flat on their face out of the gate and couldn't get back up. So it seems like Empire State and Newark. Newark did put up some good fights though. I'll give Newark credit. But they didn't do great. So right now, if my honest opinion, let's take a look at the schedule. The Week 8 schedule, as of right now, because that's where it's important, because you got to figure out what teams are playing who. So, for what it looks like tomorrow, according to the current league sheet, you will have the Knights and Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds, it's essentially must-win territory now. Knights have already clinched. They just like an extra win. Go 7-1, go into the playoffs. Vaders Punishers, that game is useless. It's a tank ball. Not useless in my eyes, but useless in terms of the playoffs, which is what we're currently talking about. And then the big game at 10, Huskies Sentinels. Huskies must win and to make sure that their playoffs are still possible. If they lose to the Sentinels, the Firecats have clinched and the Huskies are done. And then you get to other games. Sunbirds Bruisers. Sunbirds need to win. Raptors Snowhawks. Raptors need to win. Panthers Twisters. Arguably a very important game for both teams. Twisters have already clinched. Panthers are looking to also clinch. It's very tough to East this season. Raiders Dragons. Raiders in need of a win. Jackrabbits Phoenix. Not an important game whatsoever. Probably going to be a slaughter. Sky Kings Vikings. Arguably one of the most important games in the Eastern Conference. Not Eastern, Western Conference. Turks Aztecs. Meaningless. Bears Freedom. Meaningless. Toros Spartans, important for the Spartans. Spartans need a win. Greats Rattlers. Greats need a win and they could get in. Rattlers also in need of a win to try and get in, but Greats are arguably in the tougher position as they currently sit at the 9th seed. So just all these things to keep in mind so far. Then Ducks Bolts. Ducks need to win to secure the 1st seed. Bolts need to win to stay into playoff contention in the Eastern Conference. So, all around, these last few days of OFL football are going to be interesting. You are having some very important playoff implication matchups. So, who knows how these final few days are going to go down. But what is for certain is that nothing is for certain. You have all-out chaos. So you'd have the Huskies make it into the playoffs and get in. You have two currently 2-5 teams, like let's say Mexico City and Wreckshire, Green Bay and Wreckshire. They somehow make it in. Like all of these playoff scenarios are technically possible. They're low in percentage, but they're possible. The only thing that is guaranteed is Atlanta and Toronto are the two dangerous teams in all of the OFL. You've gone undefeated for this long. You have something special about you as a team. It's dangerous to watch those two teams play, and that potentially could be your conference championship, because only one team can make it to the Victory Bowl, and arguably, they could face any realistically of the following teams. The Warriors are a possibility. They just lost though. The Firecats, Omaha is a possibility. Tremont is a possibility. Dansville, if they win, that's potentially the most likely of possibilities. The Twisters, they've looked pretty good all season. So, maybe one of the lower card teams like last season, like let's say Blue Steel City, they repeat what they did last season. Season at in the playoffs, minus the losing in the Victory Bowl part, but we don't have to talk about that right now. But they could do that again. They can go from play-in to Victory Bowl, or go play Atlanta or Toronto, because DC, in my opinion, DC is the only threat at this current point in time to either of those teams, specifically Toronto. DC, in my opinion, might be the one thing that keeps keeps Toronto up at night, as DC has only suffered one loss, and that's to the team that's currently ranked better, that's currently seeded better than them, and that's Atlanta. So, yeah, that's just about it. So, nobody's clinched a 1 seed yet, but it's going to be fun to watch, and that's all you really need. You need some fun, entertaining football, and you're set. And you're just set. That's about it, though. So, well, I don't think I've got anything else to say. That's your current-looking playoff scenario. So, I'll wrap it up here for you tonight, folks. Representing T-Motion, I'm the Cowboy Crab, saying so long, everybody.